If you want 2025 to be the year that you finally manifest engagement and marriage with the love of your life, this is the video for you. In this video, I'm going to give you 3 very specific techniques for you to start doing right now to make sure 2025 is your year for marrying the love of your life. Before I jump in, right now is my end of the year blowout sale right here, which means my most popular courses are being sold at the lowest prices ever. This includes my course I Do. It is offered for a few days only for this blowout sale until the 31st at the absolute lowest price it's ever been. Don't know if I'll ever offer it at this price again, but all the links are below for you to check out those courses. It is essentially a lot of courses for $39, some courses for $89, and then some other of my premium master courses are discounted even more than they normally are for sales. So definitely check it out. Jump into those courses if you need extra guidance on exactly the steps you need to take to develop the new self-concept that's going to manifest the reality you want, whether that's in love, money, specific person, anything. Okay. So jumping into the video, what are the 3 techniques I want you to start doing right away if you want to manifest marriage and engagement? There are 3 very specific things that I think are crucial and also very potent in changing your subconscious mind. And remember, when we're manifesting, essentially what we're doing is convincing ourselves that a particular reality is not only possible, but is going to happen for us. That's the reality that we're meant to have. That's the person we're meant to be. And when you feel convinced, which we can also say is a belief, when you have a belief that this is who I am and this is what I'm doing in my life, you automatically go on to create that reality. That is what manifesting is. It is all inner work to create the self-concept or the identity that matches what you want to create. So the first step I want you to take if you want to manifest marriage in 2025 is tell yourself that it is going to happen. So why is this the first technique I'm telling you to do? You are priming your mind to believe a new reality. The way you're going to start to believe a new reality is by telling yourself that new reality. This is really partially why affirmations are so popular. Not only are affirmations really easy, but they are kind of a precursor to everything you create, right? Because you are using your mind to think thoughts all the time about who you are and what you have anyways. So when you intentionally start telling yourself affirmations that it's going to happen. I'm going to get married this year. I'm going to meet the love of my life this year. I'm going to be reunited with my SP this year. We're going to get engaged. We're going to get married. This is going to happen. You are priming your mind for that new belief to kind of take hold. And once that belief starts to take hold and you really start to believe it, that's when it starts appearing as a matching reality in your 3D. Okay, so tell yourself that it's going to happen. You can do this in a couple different ways. You can say, I know I'm getting married in 2025. I'm excited to get married in 2025. I can't wait to get married this year. I can't wait to be engaged. That's one way to do it. You can also say, I love that I got married in 2025. I love that I met my soulmate this year. I love that we fell in love so quickly and knew right away and got engaged within a month. Tell yourself that it already happened or tell yourself that it's going to happen. Both of those routes are going to convince your mind that this reality is going to happen. And that's all you're doing. You're trying to convince yourself that this is a possibility, not only a possibility for you, but it's likely. This is the outcome. This is what's going to happen. And the only way you need to convince yourself is by telling yourself that it's happening often. If you do that often enough, you really will start to believe it. You have to start telling that new story more than you're telling the old story, though, okay? That's the key. So the second thing I want you to start doing to manifest marriage in 2025 is start acting like you're married, okay? Start acting like you're married. Now, I'm going to tell you what this is and what this is not. This is not going to a bar with your friends and not talking to any guys or women because you're pretending like you're married when you're out with your friends. It actually is not like, so this is the technique acting as if. I talk about it extensively in my course. I do, because it was one of the main ways that I manifested my husband in 3 weeks. Acting as if is not something you do with other people. So if you're going out for a girls' night, go out for a girls' night, and like you're single, you're having your time. Don't worry. You don't have to pretend like you're married when you're out with other people. Or if you have like a family dinner, you don't have to go tell people that you're married already, or you don't have to be wearing your like fake engagement ring out there, like that's not how it works. Acting as if is essentially playing pretend with yourself by yourself in your own world. So when I was acting as if I was married to my husband before I manifested him, I didn't tell people I didn't tell my friends I was pretending like I was married. I didn't like pretend like I was married and tell people different stories of how I was married. I would just, in my own personal way, doing daily things I normally did throughout my day, I just would pretend in those moments like I was somebody's wife. Maybe that meant I'd be driving in my car and I'd think, I wonder what my husband wants for dinner tonight. I wonder what we're going to cook together. Or, I talk about it all the time. I always would do that in the grocery store. I'd be grocery shopping. I'd just pretend like I'm already married. You're creating we call it an identity, but it's like this new avatar, this new perspective of who you are. If you are able to kind of step into this pretending that you already have your desire, it helps you really start to feel the part as if you have the desire. And you know what that is? That is called living in the end. That's how we manifest things. We live in the end as if we already have them, because that helps create the identity and the belief of having it. And that's what takes you on to create it. Okay. So pretend like you're already married. And then the last thing I want you to do, the last step, there's many more steps you can take, but I'm giving you these 3 for this video. The last thing you can do is create a wife identity or a husband identity. So what does this mean? I want you to really think about, and even take out a piece of paper and write it down so you get very clear. There's a version of you, and this might be the version of you right now, that feels and identifies with being single, or identifies with not being in the relationship you want to be in, or identifies with not being married. Maybe you identify with not having kids and you want kids, or, whatever. But let's just call this the single you. And then there's a version of you that is married. This might just be through your imagination, but this version of you that's married, that's a potential for you to step into. So what you need to do, this is creating the wife identity, or the married identity, we can even call it, husband identity. You want to really get clear on what keeps me stuck in the identity of being single, and what would help me have the identity of being a wife. What I want you to look at, and in fact, just because it was the holidays and it's still kind of the holidays, that might be a good place to start. Single you, what does single you do during the holidays? Just maybe write out what you did and the ways you felt extra single during the holidays. Now, if you were married, what would you do during the holidays? How would it be different? For myself, I'm a living experience of this. There are many years I was in my single holiday, single person self. And now, I have a holiday with a family and a home and my husband. And now we have our daughter. And this year was a very special holiday because she really was excited about Santa Claus and all the things. And so it's like, it's a really different reality. So single me was going to family members' house, being with my extended family, kind of being the only single one there, enjoying it, but feeling like I didn't have a family of my own. Married me, wife identity, has a family of my own, has a house of my own, has my child. We have our own traditions. We're creating, memories, and we're wearing matching pajamas, and we're, doing the things you do when you have a child. So this is just an example. There's There's two versions of me. This version of me, that's who I was not very long ago, a couple years ago. This is the new version of me. Well, I created this new identity, the vision of what I would be doing if I was married. And for me, it also meant if I was a mother. And it was a really different scenario. And this is just the scenario I'm giving you because it makes it easy to understand over the holidays. But you can do this for everyday life. What does the single version of you do every day? When you get home from work or when you do, when you go out with friends? What does the married version of you do on a regular day? That's different. Write it down. That's going to help you get in touch with your married identity. And that married identity, really embodying it, getting close to it, understanding who you would be if you already had this marriage, that is what's going to help you manifest it. Okay, if you need my help on how to do that, check out my blowout sale. It's amazing. Very, very, very low prices. And again, my course I do is included in that. They're all in the description below. Lowest price I do has ever been sold for is happening right now just for a few days until the end of the year. Thank you for being here. I'll see you soon.